Tieu sat on a chair in the living room. The faint light of evening shone through the window, create a quiet and peaceful space. She still feels heavy in her heart, as if there was an invisible burden pressing down on my soul. Her heart is in turmoil. Don't know what to choose. Between love for Hung and the money that Hung's father gave Ra. $10,000 sum. Enough money to change her life. But how could she abandon Hung just for money? She loves him, but that love, is it big enough for her to sacrifice everything she has and is having? A few hours ago, Hung's father came to her house. Stern face, as if this were an important conversation. Without delay. He does not beat around the bush. Made an offer from the beginning. Made Tieu could not believe his ears. She doesn't deserve Hung. Since I met you, you have changed. No longer focus on work, but only worry about children. I don't want to see Hung lose his career just because of love. He gave Tieu a thick envelope. Inside was $10,000 and a demand that she stay away from Hung. Can use this money to start a new life. No, Hung. We will help you. Xiao Ka felt a wave breaking in her heart. She is not greedy. And that money cannot buy her love for Cho Hung. But there is a part of her, feel like can give up Hung in exchange for a trouble-free life. Not faced with difficult decisions. She refused the money, but cannot promise to leave Hung forever. After Hung's father left, Xiao Ka sat in silence, eyes staring into space. She knew she did the right thing by turning down the money. But deep down, part of her still wish can get out of all these complicated relationships. Is she strong enough to stand firm and continue to love Hung, even though he knew his family would never accept? When Hung visited her, his eyes were swollen and he looked tired and sad. She can't hide her feelings. Heartache, because I can't share everything that happened with you. She sat down and told him about it. Meeting with his father. His father has arrived. Xiao Ji begins. Her voice choked, then he said, I don't deserve you. He also gave me $10,000 and asked me to leave him. Hung looked at her, his eyes wide open, as if unable to believe what he had just heard. Have you received the money? He asked in a trembling voice. Tieu Ka shook her head, tears streaming down her face. No, I don't accept. But I don't know what to do anymore, Hung Am. I really love you. But I can't go on like this. I don't want to hurt you anymore. Hung is silent. Her words were like a knife stabbing into his heart. I love you. But could not ignore the objection from his father. The father he always respected. Now he is asked to choose between family and the girl he loves. Hung left Tieu Ka's house in a bad mood. I cannot imagine that my love, not strong enough to overcome criticism from his father. When he got home, his grandfather was already sitting in the living room, face without any sympathy. I still don't understand why I heard your father ask in a cold voice. I love her, but my family may lose everything because of her. She doesn't deserve you. Hung stood there, his eyes burning with anger. I love her, and I can't give her up just because of what Dad said. I will not do your will. I don't understand Hung. His father said in a somewhat tired voice. Love cannot help you succeed in your career. You need to know how to choose between love and responsibility. I can't live just for responsibility. Hung turned back. His heart was burning with dissatisfaction. I don't want to trade love for anything. And if that means giving up my career, I will do it. Their conversation ended in silence. Everyone carries their own sadness. Hung has chosen his own path. But is that the right path? And Tieu, she can stand firm between love and difficult decisions in life. After a tense conversation with his father, Hung left home in a confused mood. He drives at night. Let the cold wind blow through the glass door. My heart aches when I think of Tieu. She refused money, which means she is not a greedy person. But she also promised his father, "That will not see you again." What does that mean? She really wants to let him go. Hung stopped the car in front of Tieu's house. Her room light was still on. He hesitated for a moment, then got out of the car. Knock on the old wooden door. Tieu opened the door. Her eyes were startled when she saw him. Her face showed fatigue, as if she had been thinking too much. "Hung, why are you here at this hour?" Her voice was slightly hoarse, but she could not hide her anxiety. "I need to talk to you." Hung looked deep into her eyes, as if searching for an answer. She quietly stepped aside to let him into the house. Hung looked around the small room. Everything was the same. Simple and familiar. But why? He felt a strange distance between the two people. "Do you really want to leave me?" Hung asked directly. His voice was a little shaky. Tieu bowed his head, his hands tightly gripping the hem of his shirt. I don't know. I don't want to hurt you, but I don't want to be a burden, causing him to conflict with his family. "I am not a burden." Then Hung gently held her hand. "I love you, Tieu." He didn't care about father's objection or the money. "I just want to know if you love me." Tieu's heart felt like it was being squeezed. She loves him, but she also understands that love does not always win. Cruel reality. His family will never accept her. An ordinary girl with a poor background. "I love you," she whispered, but then let go of his hand. But love is not enough to change everything. "I don't want you to have to choose between two options. If you stay with me, you will lose your family." Lost the career he had worked so hard for. Hung clenched his hands as if trying to retain some patience. "Finally, do you think I care more about career than you?" "Not so. But I don't want to be the one to make you trade." Tieu took a step back. Her voice choked. Hung is in pain. Looked at her as if someone had just stabbed her in the heart. "Do you really want to leave me?" Tieu bit her lips tightly to hold back her tears. "I'm sorry, Hung." He stood there for a long time. Look at her one last time, as if wanting to engrave her image in my heart. Finally, no more words. What words? He turned and walked out of the house, leaving behind an immense pain. Hung came home with a storm in his heart. He walked straight into the living room, where his father was sitting pensively on the chair, hand holding a cup of tea, still steaming. "I have met Tieu." Hung spoke with determined eyes. His father did not look. He just took a sip of tea and slowly put it down on the table. "And what did you understand?" Hung clenched his fists. "I understand that Dad never accepted her, even though she did nothing wrong. It's not a matter of right or wrong. Hung is my future." He looked up at his son with a stern gaze. "A woman like her won't help you get far." I need someone who can accompany me, can help your child in his career, not a girl with nothing in her hands. Hung laughed, but it was a bitter laugh. Dad thinks I need a wife or a business partner. Children do not understand everything. It's not the father who doesn't understand. Hung gritted his teeth, his voice full of anger. Dad always tells me what to do, who to love, how to live. But I'm not a child anymore for you to decide for me. One more. So what are you going to do? His father raised his eyebrows, his voice full of challenge. Hung took a deep breath and said firmly, "So if Dad forces me to choose between career and love, I will give up everything. I will not live the life that you have planned for me." A cold wind blew through the window, bringing tension into the room. Father Hung looked at him for a long time. His eyes gradually darkened, as if evaluating his son again. Hung did not wait for an answer. He turned and left. This time, he did not hesitate anymore. He chose his own path. And no matter what happens ahead, I will not regret it. After that day, Tieu did not hear any news about Hung anymore. She tried to concentrate on work, but her heart still ached every time she thought of him. She chose to leave him. But can she really forget him? One day, she received a letter from Hung. "Do you still love me?" Just a simple line, but made her heart beat fast. What should she do? Where will their love story go? They will fight to get back together, or let fate decide.